Have you ever had someone's words or actions ruin what felt like an otherwise perfect day? It might have been an offhand comment, an inconsiderate act, or an unexpected disruption that left you feeling upset. It's a common experience, and it's undeniably frustrating. However, here's an important truth. No one has the ability to dictate your emotions unless you permit them to. Imagine this for a moment. What if you could maintain a calm and composed state of mind regardless of what challenges or irritations others throw your way? Picture yourself moving through life with such unshakable inner peace that even the most annoying or upsetting situations simply slide off you. This isn't some unattainable ideal, it's what we call emotional mastery. In this session, we'll explore 10 profound lessons that can transform your ability to manage your emotions. These lessons are designed to help you avoid impulsive reactions, release anger, and regain control over your emotional responses. The focus isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending you're unaffected. Instead, it's about building the inner strength to approach life's difficulties with clarity and poise. Whether it's learning to handle criticism, setting clear boundaries, or letting go of resentment, you'll acquire practical strategies to preserve your peace and confidence. By the end of this journey, you'll possess the tools and mindset needed to stay composed even in the most trying circumstances. If you're ready to take the first step toward emotional freedom and reclaim control over your mood, let's begin. Your path to mastering your emotions starts here. 1. Realize that your reactions are always a choice. Imagine you're enjoying a peaceful moment. Perhaps you're sipping coffee in the morning or taking a leisurely stroll in the park. Then, without warning, someone says or does something rude or thoughtless. In an instant, your calm is replaced with irritation or anger. You might think to yourself, why did they ruin my day? But here's a reality check. They didn't ruin your day. You allowed their behavior to influence your emotions. Your reactions are entirely within your control. No one else has the authority to dictate how you feel unless you give them that power. Think of it like this. The world around you might be filled with noise, but you can choose to wear metaphorical noise-canceling headphones. The chaos doesn't vanish, but it no longer intrudes upon your peace. A powerful insight from Viktor Frankl captures this beautifully. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. Next time someone cuts you off in traffic or makes an unfair critique of your work, resist the urge to immediately react. Instead, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, is this situation really about me, or is it more about the other person's stress, mood, or circumstances? By shifting your perspective, you can diffuse the emotional impact of the situation. To cultivate this mindset, pause and label your emotions. When you feel triggered, pause and name the emotion, be it anger, frustration, or hurt. This simple act interrupts the automatic reaction cycle. Reflect on the cause. Consider whether the trigger is the event itself or your interpretation of it. Consciously choose your response. Act in alignment with your long-term peace and values rather than giving in to immediate emotions. With practice, you'll find that the actions of others have less and less power to disturb your equilibrium. Everyday annoyances, rude remarks, and minor disruptions will lose their ability to derail your mood because you've reclaimed your power to choose how to respond. 2. Let go of expecting others to behave like you. Consider a time when you went out of your way to support someone, yet when you needed help in return, they were nowhere to be found. You might have felt disappointed and thought, how could they act like this? I would never treat them that way. Here's a tough truth to accept. People act based on their own values and priorities, not yours. Expecting them to behave as you would only sets you up for frustration. Each person's actions are shaped by their unique experiences, beliefs, and priorities. When someone's behavior upsets you, it's often not a reflection of you, but a reflection of them. Trying to change or control others' behavior is like attempting to control the weather. It's futile and only leaves you feeling powerless. Here's a relatable example. Imagine a coworker who consistently interrupts during meetings. Instead of simmering in frustration or trying to teach them a lesson, recognize that their behavior has nothing to do with you personally. By letting go of the expectation that they'll change, you free yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. A wise adage encapsulates this idea. Expectations are the root of all suffering. The less you expect others to conform to your standards, the more you protect your inner peace. To start letting go of expectations, acknowledge your assumptions. When someone's behavior upsets you, identify what you were expecting them to do. Challenge those assumptions. Reflect on whether it's reasonable to expect others to act exactly as you would. Shift your focus. Instead of concentrating on their actions, focus on how you can respond calmly and maintain your peace. When you stop expecting others to behave as you would, their actions lose the power to disturb your emotional balance. Accepting people for who they are, rather than who you want them to be, is a key step toward emotional freedom. 3. Release the need to always be right. Think back to the last disagreement you had. Whether it was about something trivial, like the best route to take, or a more significant issue, did you feel a strong urge to prove your point? The need to be right can be deeply ingrained, but clinging to it often creates tension and damages relationships. This compulsion to always be correct stems from a fear that being wrong undermines our worth or competence. But what if you could let go of that need? What if you could approach disagreements with curiosity instead of defensiveness? Often, the question to ask is, would I rather be right, or would I rather be at peace? For example, imagine a friend insists their way of handling a situation is better than yours. Instead of engaging in a debate, you could respond with, "I see where you're coming from, and I respect your perspective." By doing this, you diffuse tension and preserve your peace. To practice letting go of this need, pause before responding. Reflect on whether proving your point is worth the energy. Seek understanding. Aim to understand the other person's viewpoint rather than focusing on convincing them. Pick your battles. Reserve your energy for disagreements that truly matter. Over time, you'll find that prioritizing peace over being right leads to stronger relationships and a calmer state of mind. Picture this. You've just shared an idea you're excited about, only for someone to criticize it or dismiss it outright. The sting of their words is real, and it's easy to spiral into self-doubt. But why should their opinion have such power over you? The truth is, your worth isn't determined by what others think. It's an intrinsic part of who you are, independent of external validation. When you rely on others' approval to feel confident, you give them control over your emotions. To reclaim your emotional freedom, you need to detach from their opinions and focus on your own self-worth. Remember, people's perspectives are shaped by their experiences and biases. What they say about you often reveals more about them than about you. For example, imagine wearing an outfit you love and hearing a coworker make a snide remark. Instead of letting their comment ruin your confidence, remind yourself that their opinion doesn't diminish your joy or the value you see in yourself. Detaching from others' judgments allows you to live authentically and unapologetically. To practice this, pause before internalizing criticism. Ask yourself if their opinion is truly relevant or helpful. Reaffirm your values. Ground yourself in what matters to you and align your actions with your principles. Visualize their words as fleeting. Imagine their comments as leaves floating on a stream, unable to linger or weigh you down. By shifting your focus inward and prioritizing your own voice, you'll find freedom from the burden of others' opinions. In doing so, you reclaim your power and stay grounded in your authenticity. 5. Protect your energy with boundaries. Picture a scenario where a friend calls in the middle of your busy day asking for a favor, knowing it will disrupt your plans. Or perhaps a colleague assigns you a task at the last minute, assuming you'll handle it without complaint. Situations like these can leave you feeling stretched thin and frustrated. Why? Because saying yes to everyone often means saying no to yourself. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness. It's a way to honor your own needs and protect your peace. Without boundaries, you risk depleting your energy and feeling resentful. Think of boundaries as guidelines that help others understand what you can and cannot give. They aren't about pushing people away. They're about ensuring mutual respect. For example, imagine you're the go-to person in your friend group for advice and support, even late at night. While you value being there for others, constantly giving can leave you feeling emotionally drained. Instead of silently resenting your friends, you can say, "I'd love to help, but I need to recharge in the evenings. Let's talk tomorrow." This way, you communicate your limits while still showing care. Here's how to establish healthy boundaries. Be clear and direct. Communicate your boundaries calmly and assertively. People are more likely to respect clear guidelines. Use I statements. Frame your needs in terms of yourself rather than blaming others. For example, say, "I need quiet time after work," instead of, "You're always bothering me." Stay consistent. Upholding your boundaries teaches others that you value your time and energy. Boundaries help you take control of your emotional well-being and ensure you're not constantly giving at the expense of your own needs. By protecting your energy, you create space to focus on what truly matters. 6. Respond with silence instead of anger. Imagine being in a heated argument where someone says something intentionally hurtful or provocative. Your instinct might be to snap back, to defend yourself or retaliate. But what if instead you chose silence? It's one of the most powerful tools you have for maintaining control in emotionally charged situations. Silence doesn't mean you're weak or conceding defeat. On the contrary, it's a deliberate choice that communicates strength and self-restraint. When you respond with silence, you refuse to let others' negativity dictate your emotions. Consider this example. A colleague undermines you in a meeting, attempting to make you look bad. Rather than engaging in a verbal sparring match, you pause, take a deep breath, and remain silent. This not only denies them the reaction they seek, but also shows your composure to others in the room. Here's how to harness the power of silence. Pause before speaking. When emotions run high, take a moment to breathe and collect your thoughts. Listen without reacting. Let the other person say their piece without interrupting or defending yourself immediately. Respond thoughtfully. If a response is necessary, choose your words carefully and calmly. Silence has a way of diffusing tension and forcing others to reflect on their own behavior. By choosing not to engage in negativity, you protect your peace and demonstrate emotional maturity. 7. Use gratitude to dissolve anger. You're late for work, someone cuts you off in traffic, and a colleague makes a rude comment. It's easy to let anger take over. But what if, instead of dwelling on what's going wrong, you shifted your focus to what's going right? Gratitude is a powerful antidote to anger. It redirects your attention to the positives in your life, even in challenging moments. When you practice gratitude, you can reframe your perspective and find calm amidst the chaos. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic, instead of fuming, you might think, "I'm grateful to have a car and the opportunity to listen to my favorite music." This shift doesn't change the external situation, but it changes your internal experience. Here's how to cultivate gratitude. Pause and reflect. When anger arises, take a moment to identify something you're thankful for. Keep a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day, no matter how small. Reframe challenges. Look for lessons or silver linings in difficult situations. Gratitude doesn't erase frustration, but it helps you see the bigger picture and move forward with a calmer mindset. By focusing on what you have instead of what you lack, you shift your energy toward positivity and peace. 8. Master the art of letting go. Imagine holding on to a hot coal, planning to throw it at someone who hurt you. While you wait for the perfect moment, the coal continues to burn your hand. This is what anger and resentment do to us. They hurt us far more than they harm the person we're upset with. Letting go doesn't mean you condone the actions that hurt you or forget what happened. It means releasing the emotional weight that keeps you stuck in the past. When you let go, you free yourself to focus on the present and reclaim your peace. For example, if a colleague takes credit for your idea, you might stew over the injustice for days, letting it affect your mood and productivity. Or you could choose to let it go, recognizing that your value isn't tied to one moment of recognition. Here's how to practice letting go. Acknowledge your feelings. Allow yourself to feel anger or hurt without judgment. Reframe the situation. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? Focus on the present. Shift your attention to what you can control here and now. Letting go is a gift you give yourself. It's not about excusing others. It's about choosing your peace over lingering pain. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for growth, freedom, and a brighter future. 9. Reframe criticism as a tool for growth. Imagine presenting an idea you're proud of, only to receive harsh feedback that feels like a personal attack. It's natural to feel defensive or hurt, but criticism, when reframed, can be an opportunity for self-improvement. Even poorly delivered feedback can carry valuable insights if you're willing to look beyond the delivery. For example, a colleague might point out flaws in your work. Instead of dismissing their comments, pause and consider, is there truth in what they're saying? How can I use this to improve? By focusing on the lesson rather than the tone, you transform criticism into a stepping stone for growth. Here's how to handle criticism with grace. Pause before reacting. Take a moment to breathe and avoid responding emotionally. Evaluate the source. Consider whether the feedback is coming from someone whose opinion you respect or value. Find the lesson, extract any useful insights, and let go of unnecessary negativity. Criticism, when approached with an open mind, can help you identify blind spots and grow stronger. By shifting your perspective, you turn what feels like an attack into an opportunity for self-improvement. 10. Embrace the power of self-compassion. Imagine facing a setback, like missing a deadline or making a mistake. Your inner critic might immediately jump in, berating you for not being good enough. But what if, instead of harsh self-judgment, you chose kindness and understanding? Self-compassion is the practice of treating yourself with the same care and empathy you'd offer a close friend. For instance, if you fall short of a goal, rather than dwelling on your perceived failure, you could say, "It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes. What can I learn from this experience?" This shift not only eases the emotional burden, but also fosters resilience and growth. Here's how to cultivate self-compassion. Acknowledge your feelings. Recognize your emotions without judgment. Practice self-kindness. Speak to yourself with encouraging and supportive words. Focus on growth. Shift your attention to what you can learn and how you can move forward. By embracing self-compassion, you build a stronger foundation for emotional resilience. It allows you to bounce back from challenges with grace and maintain a positive, balanced perspective. Your journey toward emotional mastery is not about perfection, but progress. It's about consistently choosing peace, resilience, and clarity in the face of life's challenges. By practicing these 10 lessons, you'll gain the tools to navigate relationships, setbacks, and everyday stresses with grace. Remember, true strength lies in how you respond, not in what happens to you. As you continue on this path, celebrate your growth and know that each small step brings you closer to living a life of unshakable calm and self-assurance. You have the power to transform your emotional world, one mindful choice at a time.